So we reviewed the ever so infamously popular book It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover
a while ago.
Yeah.
Can you post what episode that is here?
Yeah, here. Boom. There.
Yeah. Okay.
And I remember, and I regret that we did this, but it was during a time when you and I couldn't meet each other. So there's no video.
Right.
There's no video of us.
I forgot about that.
And there's no video of us giggling or just like
kicking our feet
or whatever. I'm just kidding. It's actually a very trigger warning book.
We both didn't like it, by the way, the book when we read it.
Yeah. So it's been a while. We'll recap the book again because there are some parts that I remember that were different from the film. But in this particular video, we're going to mostly be discussing the film. Okay. This is going to be our first episode of a new segment, Book Flix. So it's going to be any book that has been created into a movie. Maybe, does the series work? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be our first intro to this. Let us know what you think down below. So welcome to the Book Flix. I'm your host, Yajaira.
And I'm your host, Cheli.
Cheli. Why, before we start talking about the movie and comparing it to the book, why don't we discuss the drama behind the cast and the author? And
you're gonna have to catch me up because I feel like so much shit has happened.
Oh my God. And I feel like I've been sending you as much as I could because I wanted to just like remember everything.
And I'll say, when we went to go watch the movie, the only thing that my cousin had told me before I left was that apparently when this movie was being, ¿cómo se llama? When you're like promoting it beforehand, apparently a lot of the cast they were promoting separately. Which is kind of like unheard of because you would think they all like would promote together. Yeah,
and I think I had sent you a tweet saying something along the lines of so Justin Baldoni, who starred in the movie, played Ryle.
Yeah.
And also directed the film. He was missing during like the first promotions of the film,
which is crazy because he's one of the main characters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so now there's a lot of speculation of like there being just, fights, I guess. I don't really know. I don't know what to classify this, if it's just rumors or if it's actually something more serious.
Well, it's kind of hard to just think it's just rumors because didn't they all unfollow him too on social media?
Yeah. Well, I think most of the cast and Colleen Hoover unfollowed him, which is crazy to me because I mean, I don't know how much power Colleen Hoover had in terms of what happened in the film. It sounded like she did because I saw an interview where somebody asked her that if she wrote the script or something, and she said that no, that somebody else wrote the script, but they let her see the script and she kind of
like okay it.
Right? Yeah, and she did okay it. So it sounds like she had a lot of say in the film. So in my mind, I'm thinking, I mean, you have this director who also came out in an interview saying that, he's a man. So he knew that him directing it would be on the lens of a man. So there would be moments where he would step back and allow Blake Lively to kind of like take over so it can have like the woman's gaze. And I don't know, Justin Baldoni, I have no idea. I've never heard of him before this.
Yeah.
Because I'm really bad with names anyway. So from what I've seen, it sounds like he really is doing his best to keep the whole purpose of the film, which is, that there are domestic violence survivors who go through a lot of shit that you may not know. He just wanted to make this movie basically like a message for them that you can survive this and that you're not alone. And I really liked him in these interviews because it sounded like he really did care about what should have been the message of the film. But it seems like the other people who are promoting it are not really promoting it as it should be, I guess. I don't know how you feel about it because they're saying like, oh, they're making it seem like too much of a rom-com. But like how...
It did kind of seem like that.
It did, I agree. But then also how do you... I don't know how to be sensitive about how would you promote it.
I guess like for... I don't know. I'll get back to that question because I just want to add, you had also mentioned that although he was the director, there were a lot of parts, and they were like pretty crucial parts in the book, like the first time Ryle and Lily meet. Those parts weren't even written by him, right? Or other people took liberties for certain like parts of the directing process.
Yeah, I don't know how much he would write though, because there's a screenwriter.
Okay, that's so weird to me. I don't really know how that works.
Me neither.
His name is still under it, but if other people helped, shouldn't their names be under it too?
I think it would be like a long list of names.
I know. I don't know how that works,
Me
but
neither.
it just feels like, I don't know, to me, because we obviously don't know what happened, and I feel like until this movie is being promoted, because then there's the whole after a movie comes out too. After it's out of theaters, I feel like we'll know more.
I don't think so. Don't you remember? So? Don't worry, darling.
Dude, I didn't really follow that much, but I remember it being crazy.
Yeah, no, it was crazy.
Oh my
God, Florence Pugh, when she came out with her sleigh dress. I need to find it. If I find it, I'll post it here. Oh my God, she was killing it.
To me, it just kind of feels like he was kind of fucked over.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so. Because I had told Cheli that I saw a article, I think from, I don't remember who. I'm not even going to guess. But if I find it, I can post it here.
Yeah.
And where they, I think it was an interview where they interviewed Blake Lively, and she said that her husband, Ryan Reynolds, had written parts of the movie, or maybe like some parts of the movie, but specifically the rooftop scene,
which is the first time they meet,
which is the meet cute, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cute. So now because that came out, people are speculating, maybe the director Justin feels like he was kind of pushed off of the project and didn't really have that much creative control, and it was mostly given to Blake Lively and her husband. But did you see, oh my God, somebody asked Justin Baldoni, hey, are you planning on directing It Starts With Us, like if they make it, if they green light it? And he was like, no, I feel like I'm just gonna like step back on that. I think Blake Lively is ready. I think she's very creative. I think she could take over.
Okay. I don't know how to take that.
Me neither. I don't know how to take that either. He seems super sweet though in his interviews. Okay. But I don't know if it's like passive aggressive sweet.
Okay, but I honestly, I feel like actors and writers, when you're both, I feel like you're on a different wavelength I will never understand.
Yeah, of course. Mm-hmm.
So I kind of want to talk about Coho. How did you feel about the fact that Coho just okayed it and didn't put more of her say in it? Because I wouldn't. If I were her, I feel like I would have gone through everything.
But oh my God, how do I say this? There are certain scenes and certain lines of dialogue that I feel maybe were realized by somebody were a little too cringy to put on the big screen.
And I understand that, but for her to just be like, I didn't really do much, I just okayed it. It's just kind of like...
Well, because we saw an interview, basically.
Yeah. We
saw an interview where they were asking her about the script, and she had said that they brought in a bunch of readers. Yeah. And I'm assuming like fans of it, and It Ends With Us. And they watched the film or they read the script. I don't even know.
And they kind of okayed it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like she should have instead called people who have been through domestic abuse?
I mean, she should have done that with the book, but but I think she probably wanted to keep it as close to the original source material as possible. But also making it less cringy.
Yeah.
I'm saying that respectfully.
Didn't Coho private her social media?
That's what I heard, and I think it's because of all of the drama surrounding the castmates and her, basically.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. But oh my gosh.
I feel kind of conflicted. Going back to, Justin Baldoni, I feel really conflicted because she is the author, so the creator of the story. And I know that he's the director. So I feel like she obviously sided with Blake Lively and was like, no, I want Blake to take control over this. Is that bad? I don't know. I'm very, very conflicted about this because I feel like you're the creator, so I guess you should have the final say.
I guess so, but if you think about it too, like even if you were at work and your position title says you do a certain thing, if your boss just came in and was like, I like how that person does it better, so I'm just gonna make them do it. It's just kind of like you're belittling my title.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of how I feel this went. Mm-hmm. It's not that he hates his cast. I hope he doesn't, but who knows. But I feel like it's more so like this is my job and you're not letting me do my job the way I want to do it.
Yeah. How he intended to.
Yeah. How do you feel about the way the domestic abuse in this movie was shot? Because there was drama with that, right?
I'm not sure if there was drama with that, but
you brought it up and I feel like it was kind of like a thing that people should bring up.
What did I say? I don't remember.
You had mentioned that the 3 instances in which Lily's character is abused by Ryle felt like they were really downplayed in comparison to the book. Mm-hmm. And it is kind of true because the way that the movie had shot it, when the scene happens, you don't see it happen. Mm-hmm. It's just like a very like far away wide shot.
It's like a really close up. Okay. Like you're super close to.
But it's in a way that you can't really. Oh yeah, it's in a way that you can't really see what's going on completely. So even the audience is like, well, I mean, it could have been an accident. Like who knows? And then the characters are very quick, or Ryle is very quick to like apologize for things that are going on.
I think it was supposed to be intentional, where Lily's kind of like, oh, he didn't mean to do it, because even us, the viewers, don't know what the hell happened. So I think we were supposed to parallel her, but I still have issues with. I just have issues with Ryle's portrayal in the book and in the film for different reasons, similar but different reasons. And we can get more into that as we talk about like the differences between both. I just feel like they didn't know how to handle how to portray his character. I
think the issue was too the fact that they took this on as if it were a rom-com, because then when it got to these very serious scenes, I was just kind of like, oh shit. And I think that's kind of what made it ridiculous when we were watching it, because it always just felt like a total 180 from like the jokes they had been making as characters like before. And I'm not saying that comedy can't be in other genres, because I mean horror and comedy is like something that's kind of sparking now, and I think that's like it's really nice because it shows that people aren't one-dimensional. You can be very like different in different ways. But like the fact that this felt like it was shot specifically to be a rom-com just felt wrong, because then when it did come up to those moments, they felt so small. And I don't know if you felt the same way, because I cried when I watched this movie, because it fucking gets to me. It's a sad situation for a woman to be in, and for anyone to be trapped in that type of like relationship and feeling like they can't get out, or like they're in the wrong. But I felt like I was supposed to feel bad for Ryle.
If we go back to how the film portrayed him. So when Ryle was first introduced in the book, he like beats the shit out of these fucking chairs, throws them around. He's had a hard day at work. Lily is there. She's like hanging off of the ledge, or has one leg off of the ledge. She's sitting there and she looks at him. He looks at her and he's like, can you get off of the ledge, please? You're making me nervous. So it was very obvious that it started off with a huge red flag, because he was obviously like kicking these chairs around.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I think we were supposed to like fall in love with his charm, but it was very hard for me to find him charming when he came out so abrasive.
Yep.
And in the book specifically, I felt like he came off kind of creepy. Because you know what they changed? Do you remember in the book that when Lily meets him, he's like, oh, I want to fuck you. And she's just like, I don't do that. No. And so they go their separate ways, but he first takes a picture of her, which is weird.
Oh, yeah.
And then they go their separate ways, and then she ends up opening her flower shop and meets his sister just by some random occurrence in Boston. I think Boston is big. I've never been there. And then so the sister, who's rich, is like, I can work for free. Don't worry, girl. They become best friends. And then all of a sudden, Oh my God, hold on. I'm so sorry. There was something I wanted to bring up about their first meeting. When they first meet, do you remember how they did their naked truths?
Yes.
She tells him about her mom, about how her mom was abused and how she witnessed her dad be a piece of shit of father, or not father, but husband, and that he was okay with her. And Ryle was like, oh, I'm so sorry. That's really sad. So to me, when it was revealed in the movie, when she tells him, oh, hey, my mom was abused, it was so like, I don't know if you noticed, but I laughed uncomfortably because Ryle was like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Oh, as opposed to if you did know, then you would be like, I would never do it, babe.
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean?
I don't know.
So then that pissed me off. And then once Lily meets him again in the book, it was different because she hurt herself. Do you remember that she like fell or something?
Yeah.
So Alyssa, the sister, calls Ryle and is like, hey, can you come help my friend? Ice her and whatever. And that's how they slowly started to hang around each other again. Mm-hmm. But in the film, I think after their first hangout, he was like, hey, I just really, really want to kiss you so fucking bad. If I could kiss you right now, I just get you out of my system. No big deal. And she's just like, okay, one kiss, fine. So they handled that portion a little bit better, in my opinion, because in the book, do you remember that he like went all across the fucking apartment complex knocking on all of these doors
I forgot
until
about
he
that.
finally found her and was like, I knocked on 29 doors just to find you. And I really need to fuck you.
Oh my God. Because in the movie, she mentions that she doesn't live there at the very beginning. So, but he does mention like, I did go to the rooftop and wait for you, by the way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. That wasn't as bad. I didn't like, because there were points where you do see his red flags, but I feel like they're so concealed that it's just kind of like, you have to watch the movie again to see the red flags. It's like one of those moments. Mm-hmm. That point when they're at Alyssa's party, Alyssa, right?
Yeah.
When they're at Alyssa's party, which is Ryle's sister, and Blake Lily walks in and she like takes off her jacket and it shows like her really slay top, and then Ryle comes and follows her, and I forget what they're talking about. I think she tells him like, you need to stop flirting with me. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, I don't want to stop flirting with you. And they have like a back and forth, and he just goes like, shut up and listen to me.
Yeah.
And it came out like super like firm, dominating. Yeah. And I was like,
ooh, red flag.
No.
But I think people giggled behind us.
Yeah.
Like people were giggling.
Yeah, which is crazy to me.
Crazy because so when we went to go see it, Ends with Us in theaters. We saw it in theaters, obviously. Not illegally. Mm-hmm. Even though I did suggest that. You didn't even laugh. I suggested that. And I suggested that. I don't remember which video. And you were just like, anyway.
We're not doing that here. So I miss theaters, by the way. So I just want to say we don't even have to say anything else about this. Watching it in the theater really changes the vibe.
It does.
It makes it kind of like,
it makes it more special, I think.
Yeah, it really did. Us holding hands. Because
you get to see everybody else's reaction too.
Yeah, dude.
So our theater was very, very giggly and very reactive to what was happening. Mm-hmm. You know, obviously nothing in comparison to the Marvel fandom, but it was still reactive. Mm-hmm. And so I think in that moment they giggled. Yeah. And I was like, oh shit.
Well, there were a lot of moments like that because I feel like our theater was very Team Ryle.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Which is crazy to me.
Or they just really liked him.
When it comes to the first time that he hits her, it is when they're making something in the oven and he's talking about, it's like a celebratory meal because he's going to have a really big surgery soon.
Yeah.
And when he's pulling it out of the oven, he doesn't have oven mitts on. And
it's burning. I think it's like smoking and shit. And she's laughing and he's like, oh, let me grab it really quickly. So he's like, he doesn't wear oven mitts.
Yep.
Because he's an idiot.
Yeah, that's dumb. And then she's going over to him because he got burned and he strikes her and she falls back. Mm-hmm. And in this movie, you can't really see what happened, but you do see her react like, what did you just do? Mm-hmm. And he immediately is like, are you okay? I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Are you okay? Mm-hmm. You know, you're going to be okay. And he's like hella comforting her. That didn't happen in the book, right?
In the book, one of my major complaints of the book is that they try to portray it as like, oh, I just blacked out. oh no, that wasn't me. I blacked
That's
out.
so dumb.
But then the third incident completely derails that whole fucking idea. So in the book, I remember, and I wish it would have happened the same in the film, and I brought it up to Cheli after the film. In the film, he completely switches and is like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Fuck my hand. I don't care, babe. It's fine. Like, I want to be here for you. It might have been the same in the film. I don't remember. But in the book, she was pissed. She was like, if you ever hit me again, I will know you did that on purpose and I'll never talk to you again because I saw what it did to my mom and I'm not going through that.
Yep.
Because her mom was in an abusive relationship. So she doesn't want to live the way that her mother lived. And Ryle's like, no, I will never do that again. I promise. Never. And that was totally an accident.
Yeah, they didn't do that. I just feel like even like you said, they're trying to put it so that we're experiencing this the way Blake Lively's character does. So they're trying to make us like Ryle. And that's kind of what I said.
Or even question it.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of how I had felt like the first time we were reading the book. Because like it seems like a good relationship until that point. And so the second time, I don't remember what the second one was.
The second time, so first there's a third character because this is kind of like a love triangle weirdly. Yeah. There's a character named Atlas who she had a thing with when she was younger, and they were like each other's first loves. And Atlas had always mentioned like Boston is where it's at, and I think they met in Maine, I think. And he was like, everything's better in Boston, babe. And so now that she's older, she moved to Boston, not really looking for him. I think she just wanted to experience if Boston really is that great, I guess. Yeah. And she ends up going to this new restaurant. In the book, it's called Bibs. In the movie, it's called Roots. And this is the moment when she sees him again. And he's the chef. He owns the place. And he sees her. Oh, this is the second time she sees her. Whatever, it doesn't matter. And she notices that she has a black eye. And that Ryle's hand is bandaged. And he completely loses his shit.
And Ryle, well, first Lily leaves and goes to the bathroom with Atlas. And they talk about it. And Atlas makes a comment like, you're going to end up just like your mom. Like you're following down her footsteps. And
crazy.
Lily's just like, I'm fucking out of here. So she gets out of the restroom. But at the same time, Ryle sees both of them get out of the restroom. And he's just kind of like, what were you doing in the restroom? And then they fucking Atlas and Ryle go at it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not funny. But our audience of like the movie theater, just the fact that
they were gasping.
Oh my God. And you and I were just like, oh shit.
They were clutching their pearls, and I was just like, oh my God, fuck them up, Atlas.
I know. It's just funny having read it, you know, and knowing the beats. But I remember that was very intense, and it ends with Ryle walking out. And Lily walks out too and is just kind of going like, it's nothing. It means nothing.
It was nothing.
And he just says like, it could be anyone else, but not him.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. And
because he obviously realizes that this is her first love, Atlas. And so after this, Atlas ends up going to her shop, writes down his phone number, puts it in her phone case, and then just like tells her, if you ever need it, call me. I hope you don't need it though.
And so one random day, and it's a pretty good day.
And also this is months after.
Yes. Ryle is in their bedroom and drops Lily's phone on accident. And the phone case pops off and he sees this number. So he calls it. And at that time, Lily was on FaceTime with her mom.
In the movie.
So you hear Ryle throw something. And Lily's like, Mom, hang up. I gotta do something. And so she goes to Ryle and is like, what's wrong? And he tells her like, I called the number. It's back of your phone case. Why do you have his number? Why do you have his? And she's like, it's nothing. Like he just gave it to me because he assumed from the bandages and everything. And then I
don't think she even, not saying she had to explain herself, but I don't think she said anything. Because I remember thinking, why isn't she telling him? Like
she did. She just told him like he looked at my eye and he like, I don't think she used the word assumed, but he like pieced it together and, it was nothing. It was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like he's about to calm down, but he walks out.
He throws the phone on the ground and then storms out. And
she follows him and they go to the staircase, the stairwell. And in the way it looks as if Lily just fell back. But it also kind of looks like it kind of
just cuts before you can really say what happened.
Oh, yeah,
but us reading it, we know he pushed her off the stairs. Mm-hmm. But if you're just watching the film, you don't know for sure what happened. And in the film, so then she wakes up on the couch and he's like
stitching her.
He's stitching her, cleaning her, and he tells her, "You just fell."
That's crazy.
Yeah.
In the book, she was hospitalized.
I could have sworn she was. I don't remember exactly, but I could have sworn she was in the hospital. But he was like, I remember him being like, oh, like it was, you just fell? And it was an accident. I
could have sworn too that in the book, there were more situations where Lily had to excuse why she looked the way she did.
Yeah, I think so too.
Can I say too, we didn't mention, but the first time with her eye, when he hit her, I thought that the bruise didn't look as bad as I had imagined it would.
So in the book, it was different from the film, but in the book, when that happened, he shoved her and she fell against the counter. Remember, she hit her eye against the corner of it, and that's why it looked so bad. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know.
But even it's like
it's like a really tricky subject because obviously we don't want someone to experience something worse, but if you want to talk about domestic violence
and you want it to be impactful for people who've survived it, I would assume.
Yeah, and then also you want to emulate what you wrote on your book.
And I don't know, because then I'm also thinking of people who are watching this who are younger, because I work with younger people. I know how they think. Not really. I would assume that I do. But first one didn't look as bad as I thought it would. And even the second one, falling down a staircase and all you have is a cut that you can hide behind your bangs. Like to me, it feels like throughout the movie, people would be like, well, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, because she didn't hurt any other part of her body because she fell down the stairs.
Yeah. So then going to the third one.
So again, shit happens and they're good for a while. Because I feel like this book does a lot of like time. And even the film, like it like does a lot of time jumps.
Yes. I do want to say it is bad. I don't want that to be like cut random weirdly. It is bad, the things that he does to her.
Yeah.
It's just the movie portrayed it as if it wasn't, in my opinion.
Yeah. Because, oh my God, again, bringing up weirdly, I'm not saying the book is better by any means, but I'm just saying that at least in the book, she kept telling him, I don't want this to be like a constant thing. Like I don't want to go through what my mom went through. Like I don't want this relationship. But he would be like making false promises. Like, don't worry. It's just because I have these demons. Oh, what I hated that they changed from the book to the film, which is so weird because I don't want to make it seem like the book is by any means amazing. But in the book, it was Ryle who told Lily about the fact that he went through something traumatic when he was 6, I believe.
Yeah.
With his older brother. And it was a moment when they were playing with a gun and they thought it was a toy gun, but he shot his brother and it ended up killing him.
Yeah.
And ever since then, he's had these moments where he blacks out. Well, they didn't describe that in the film, but in the book, it was like a huge thing. Like, I just black out, so I don't know what's going on with me.
Yeah.
And in the film, it was actually his sister who told Lily about it.
And then said, like, ever since then, he's never been the same.
Yeah. I hate that shit. I hate the whole having to have an excuse of why he's a shitty person. But let's talk about the third incident. So
the third one was in a magazine. Alyssa had told Lily that they ranked in the top 10 of places you can visit in Boston, which is crazy. That's fucking wild. She just opened. And while she was looking at it, there was also a top 1, and top 1 was Root. but we didn't see her read it. It wasn't until she was home.
I think that was like a whole different category. That was like food.
Okay.
Food and restaurant.
When she's at home, she's making like a celebratory dinner for her and Ryle comes home and is like, hey, I want you to read through this, and I want you to read specifically this one, number 1, and specifically the last paragraph. And he writes about, well, it's Atlas who they had interviewed for Root winning this. And he said that he named the restaurant Root after a girl he loved, and talked about how he had carved her an oak heart because of how much she like cared about her. And then Ryle kind of pieces it together like, that's why you have a heart tattoo. Mm-hmm. We didn't really talk about that, but he brings it up often in the movie. And that's like, to him, that was one of her favorite parts of her body.
That was his favorite part of her body.
And now knowing that it was something that Atlas did, or Atlas had a part in, he gets really upset. So then she's telling him like, you're overreacting. Nothing happened. Like, I can't control what he says, basically. And he takes her to the couch and tries to take advantage of her. And I told you this, but to me, it felt like he did. And even in the book, to me, it felt like he did. Because in the book, when she runs away from that situation, she goes to Atlas, and Atlas takes her to the hospital. And even the hospital attendant asks, like, in the book, they're like, well, we can give you this one test to check. It's called an R-word kit, to check if you were R-worded. And Lily's character is like, that didn't happen to me. So, no. And when I had read it, I didn't really understand. But to me, it had felt like she was covering for Ryle because she knows that he did. That's what I had felt. And even watching it, you see them both struggling, and she like screams in pain. And you were like, yeah, but that was like when she was bitten, because he bites the tattoo.
He bites her, yeah.
But it just kind of felt like it was more. But
I feel like if he would have taken advantage of her all the way, I feel like it would have been more explicit.
You think so?
In the book, it makes sense because he headbutts her and then bites her. And
she's a little disoriented.
She blacks out, yeah. And in the film, he bites her tattoo, her collarbone, and she just like gets away from him. I don't know. I honestly think he just bit her.
Well, when she goes to the hospital in the movie, I didn't like this. She's with Atlas, and the lady asks her the same thing, but instead of using the R-word kit, which is what people know it as, it was like, oh, do you need the same kit? Because that's the name of it. And they never use the word R-word. And it just kind of felt like there's going to be people watching this that don't know what you're talking about. And I don't know, that feels like a weird thing to cut if this is supposed to be a movie about awareness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because then people aren't going to be aware that that's what you were trying to talk about.
It almost felt like they were censoring themselves.
Which is crazy because there were other parts they didn't really censor.
Mm-hmm. But this was crazy in the book.
Yeah.
It was just like a very scary moment. I remember feeling like Ryle felt really unhinged. Yeah. And I also want to bring up, because I've said it already, you know how in the book they tried to make it seem like, oh no, he just blacks out. My bad, babe. I don't remember anything. Mm-hmm. He literally planned this so he doesn't black out. He waited for her, got this whole fucking magazine, had her read it, and then attacked her. So it's like, you don't black out. You're just an asshole. Mm-hmm. But in the film, they didn't do that whole like split portrayal of him where he just didn't remember. It just kind of felt like, and I hope this doesn't come off as insensitive, but the way that the film made me feel was like Ryle was just always pushed to this.
Yeah.
Like it circumstances just kind of always made it seem like there is something going on with Lily and Atlas, and maybe that's what they wanted to do. I don't know, like, did they want me to feel like, oh, he's not that bad of a guy then, you know? I don't know.
It did make both of us feel like that, because I remember we walked out and it was like, were we supposed to feel bad for Ryle? Because it kind of feels like the only reason this happened was because, like you said, Lily pushed him to this.
Yeah, or just...
But why is that what they're trying to go for? I don't understand.
Yeah, I felt like they didn't portray his character accurately. Even if they would have just done a portrayal of how he was in the book, I feel like that would have been more successful in the way that he was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. The movie basically ends... Oh, no, it doesn't end the same, because it follows the whole Lily stays at Atlas's place for a long time while she's setting up her new life, because she figures out after the abuse, the third one, she is pregnant and she does plan on keeping it. She tells Alyssa, and Alyssa's like, I mean, as a sister, I would want you to forgive my brother, but as a friend, I would never want you to go back to him.
Yeah. And she said, I would never talk to you again if you get taken back.
Yeah. And Ryle continuously calls her, but she never answers. He never visits the flower shop. And then the first time they see each other again in the movie is when he's helping her build
the crib.
And then again, when she gives birth and she has a moment that's like, you deserve to be over here. Come meet our daughter together. It got me with the whole, like, I named my daughter Emerson. And he was like, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever done for me. But at the same time, like, I just feel like we never really got to see both these characters ever have deep conversations. So it's just like a little weird that she just knows and they just never talk about it. Because that feels like something you should probably talk about with your partner.
And also, by this point, and in the film it's different. In the film, she basically cut him off, and the only time she saw him was, like Cheli said, was building the crib. But in the book, I could have sworn they were kind of like teetering between, like, do we want to be parents together? Don't we? Do we? Don't we?
Yeah, because even when they were building the crib, he would stand there, and then I remember in the book, it would describe it as he looked hopeful. Yeah. Like it felt like there was a little shred of like, this might work out. Mm-hmm. But in the movie, it was clear that she wasn't going to go back to him.
Well, it wasn't clear. It was clear to us, but I feel like to Ryle, it wasn't until he was holding Emerson.
And then she's like, we shouldn't be together. And
she said, I want a divorce.
Yeah.
And he was like, don't do this. Don't do this.
But then when she paints the picture of like, if you knew that our daughter's boyfriend had hit her, had pushed her down the stairs and lied about it, and had done basically all of this, what would you say to her? And it was like, well, I would beg her to never see him again and beg her to never go back to him.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of ends. I hate that they didn't show Ryle again after this.
Yeah.
Because it kind of makes it seem like Ryle was the bigger man. He knew that he had to walk away.
Yeah.
Because in the book, he doesn't. He's still very much a part of...
Well, they co-parent.
Yeah, he's very much part of Emerson's life. Mm. And I remember you hated the ending of the first book because
yes, I did.
Emerson, who is like a toddler, gets dropped off with Ryle, and Ryle is with her alone. And it's just kind of like... You would leave your baby alone with that man.
Yeah, I would not trust that man.
But I think the same thing happens in the movie. They just didn't show Ryle.
No, Lily's mom was taking care of her. They were in the park, remember?
That's what happened.
And then you see Lily's character walking through, like, I think a farmer's market. I don't know. And then she sees Atlas, and they kind of just like smile at each other, and they're walking towards each other, and that's how it ends.
Well, it ends with her walking away and then coming back, and it's like, are you free later? Wait, are you free?
Yeah.
Yeah. No Finding Nemo reference at all, by the way.
So 5 out of 5. We didn't say, but Ryle and Lily had gotten married, I think, after the first incident.
That's also kind of...
Not right after, but...
That's also kind of a red flag on how he proposed, though, because it's in front of people. And also, he took away from the birth of his sister's, like, kid.
Yeah. Well, in the film.
Yeah. I know you're having a baby, Alyssa. I know.
But suddenly I want to be a husband.
Oh my God.
I think it was supposed to be like a cute moment.
I fucking hate that shit.
I would hate that. I'd be like, get the fuck out.
Oh my God. And it's also like, as Lily, it's like, what the fuck am I supposed to say? You're not letting me like think this over. You're doing it in front of your family.
Yeah.
I can't say no.
She didn't say no. So, yeah. And
yeah,
that was the film. That was the film.
Shout out to the 2 times it showed Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh my God. And it's so funny because we had talked about whether or not they would even discuss Ellen DeGeneres, because in the book, Lily was such a huge fan. Mm-hmm. She would rely on Ellen DeGeneres for, you know, emotional support.
And she even had a diary where she would write like logs to Ellen, and it would be like, "Dear Ellen."
Yeah, well, that was her diary.
Yeah.
It'd be letters to Ellen. And I just found it so funny because even in the diary, her motto was just keep swimming. That was the motto. Mm-hmm. And they did show Ellen DeGeneres, but just like on the TV, like in the background in the film.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
You thought they were going to change it to like Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, dear Jimmy.
Dear Jimmy.
Oh my gosh.
Just went to Universal Studios and thought about you.
I thought the relationship between Atlas and Lily lacked passion.
Really?
I felt like it wasn't there.
People love him.
Crazy, because I didn't feel, the first time they meet, I felt no chemistry. It was just kind of like, oh, you're here? Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Lily. Who would have thought? And then he walks away. And it's like, that's not my Atlas. My angel of a man Atlas, that's not him. Mm-hmm. No.
I kind of agree with you. I kind of wish that they would have built her relationship with Atlas, you know, in the present time. Not them as younger, but as older. I wish they would have built their relationship a little bit better. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I really liked that line that I could not understand.
Oh. It was so funny because after the third incident between Lily and Ryle, Atlas takes Lily to her job, and you know she's gonna go back home too eventually. She gets a new apartment, whatever. She's gone, and Atlas hugs her. And in the book and in the movie, they say, when you're open, I'm gonna butcher this, when you're open to falling in love again, just fall in love with me. But the actor that played Atlas like hugs Lily and fall in love with me. Yajaira, wait, hold on.
I literally looked at Cheli and I was like, what the fuck did he say? It sounded beautiful, but I could not grasp it. He mumbled a lot.
Dude, I
just have bad hearing. I don't know.
No, I think that Atlas's actor, he must be like, he might be a great actor and other stuff. I don't think this role was like for him. I don't think he looked like what I imagined Atlas to look like too. The hairstyle, facial hair, loved it.
Who would you have picked for Atlas?
Not him. No questions, please.
Oh my God.
I don't know, but it just didn't feel right.
Okay.
I don't know. And I guess it just didn't feel right because like I didn't see like the yearning in him for her.
Oh, that was missing. Yeah.
That was missing. I wanted to see it in his face. But he just didn't look like he was in love with Blake Lively. Because Ryan Reynolds in the back. You keep your eyes off my wife. Sorry, man.
Yeah, right. Did you see the interview with him and the actor?
No.
He was like hella thirsting over him.
Really? Oh my God.
Ryan Reynolds was thirsting over the actor who played Atlas. I thought it was so fucking funny.
Then it wasn't that he wasn't looking at Lily. He was just looking at Ryan.
It's like, please look at me instead. I actually don't really mind like his face. I don't mind his face. I don't mind his acting. It was just those moments that he mumbled his line. And that was just my main issue. And I wish they did have more cute moments between them that I would feel like, oh yeah, there's yearning in between them.
And can I say, if they release the second movie and they don't have Ryle, that's crazy. That doesn't feel right. Because Ryle does play a pretty important part in the second movie. Because it kind of shows like...
Second book.
It kind of shows like no matter... Well, they're co-parenting. It's like she can't really escape him.
She's stuck with him forever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she can technically if she wanted to, but she really wants her daughter to have both parents. But I don't know. It's just, it feels weird. And I overall, watching this movie, I wish Atlas would have been different. Blake Lively was Blake Lively. I thought Ryle's actor did a good job playing Ryle, but I do feel like the moments of abuse didn't really shine through. So it just kind of felt like it was a smaller portion, which it was supposed to be a bigger portion of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It was crazy.
It was crazy. I was laughing because I was remembering there's this scene in the movie where she's going to give her dad a eulogy. She's going to, talk to the crowd and tell them 5 things she loves about her dad.
Yeah.
And so she was like, she pulled out a napkin and there was like 1 through 5, but it was empty. She didn't have anything because she fucking hated her dad with good reason, because he was abusive to her mother. And there was a scene in the movie. I forgot what scene exactly, but do you remember when she was like, "Oh yeah, I loved my dad," and I looked at you and I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What? What? Dude, you had 0 reasons to love him. It's so
funny because there were so many serious moments like that in the movie where you and I would just look at each other and just be like, "No, be fucking for real." That's so dumb.
I wish that there would have been more between her and her mom, like having a conversation about her mother staying with her dad.
Yeah.
And paralleling that with her and Ryle. Because I think they did have a conversation in the book. I don't really remember how it went.
They basically had a conversation. They kind of did in the movie too, but it was so short.
Not really.
No, it was just a one line thing of like, why did you never leave him? It was because it was easier this way. Mm-hmm. They have more of a deeper conversation in the book about that.
Yeah, they don't really acknowledge Ryle being abusive in the film.
Well, even remember my sister had brought it up because she went to go watch it with us. The ending part where the mom is walking with Lily and is like, "I'm so proud of you." And it kind of makes it seem like, "I'm proud of you for leaving him." But then it's like they're in the funeral or in the graveyard.
Yeah, they're in the cemetery.
And it's like, "I'm proud of you for visiting your dad." So it's like,
she just says, "I'm proud of you."
It's very open.
I think you're supposed to assume that she's proud of her for leaving Ryle, but she's finally visiting her dad. So I think she's actually talking about that, maybe, or both. I don't know.
Yeah.
But in the book, I think she said something along the lines of, it's better to leave right away because if you keep forgiving him, then it just gets harder to leave. Something like that. So I wish that they would have had a conversation like that, but it didn't happen. So overall,
it was a movie.
It was a movie.
It's funny because after the movie ended, like people were like clapping and you and I just stared at each other like, we're not giving this movie a clap.
No.
I really hope that Justin, the guy who plays Ryle, isn't a bad guy. I really hope he's not. I really hope he's not.
Me too.
But seeing this movie kind of crumble, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I'm just sitting here like,
with tea.
Coho, next move. The movie's yours.
Like a fucking chessboard.
Yeah. She's
no matter what,
right
she's fine.
Yeah, she is.
She's rich. Mm-hmm. She's fine.
Mm-hmm. And she's always going to be like that. And I just don't understand it because there's so many books that you and I have read in this podcast alone that I feel like deserve a movie. You got a Coho book? I feel like a lot of actors and actresses are always photographed in like airports holding a Coho book.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Why a Coho book?
Well, I wasn't it that Blake Lively loved this book so much that she just like made it happen because she was a producer.
That's crazy.
I don't know what producers do. Produce? I have no idea what that means.
Producers give them money to back it. So it's their money that's paying for everyone.
Oh, suddenly everything makes sense now.
Yeah, that's why she had so much say. But it feels wrong. Well, I could recommend books to Blake Lively. Oh my God. Tell me what you like, Blake.
Coho.
I don't know. And it feels kind of weird. I know her husband's Ryan Reynolds, but doesn't it kind of feel weird that your husband just comes in and is like, wait, can we like get it like this though? And it's like, you're not part of the team.
Well, in an interview, I don't know if it was the same one that I mentioned earlier, she did say that they always help each other out in their projects.
That's weird.
She helped
That's weird.
How's that weird? I would love that.
Wouldn't it be weird if
my hubby
if he came to your job and was like, "Here, I'll do it, babe."
But it's different because it's creative.
I don't know. It's weird because what if you were the Justin, and you're like, "Oh my God, I really want."
I would never be the Justin.
I really want this scene shot like this, and then the actor, who is only an actor, brings their husband, and their husband's like, "No, but
she's not just an actor; she's a producer."
Okay, but like she put money to pay us. She didn't put money for how it was going to be shot. So,
but I feel like Colleen Hoover.
You do have a lot to say, though.
Colleen Hoover. I'm only assuming because Colleen Hoover loves Blake Lively, so I'm assuming that she was the one who pushed it to be like, yeah, let them have a say.
I don't know. Maybe it's because I feel only distaste towards Colleen Hoover books.
Maybe.
I don't care.
I don't really know what the right answer is because all of this is speculation anyway.
Yeah, it is.
We don't know what actually happened behind the scenes. I'm scared that everyone's wrong and it's just like completely different.
Because it could also just be that they're all just fucking with people. So now people are like, well, now I gotta watch it.
Yeah. Did you hear about Joaquin Phoenix?
No.
Joaquin Phoenix had, oh my God, I'm going to totally fucking butcher this. Here's what I heard. Joaquin Phoenix created a film, a gay film where he was going to star in it. 5 days before it was set to film, all of this money was already spent on this, right?
Yeah.
He backed out and said he got cold feet. So now everyone in the fucking crew is losing money because he doesn't want to do it anymore. Isn't that crazy?
That's why I'm telling you, like, trying to sympathize and understand actors, we will never. Because I can't just imagine, like, it was like that one, remember that video of fucking, I forget her name, John Legend's wife, Chrissy
Teigen?
When she was like, hate this wine, pour it down the sink. And then people were like, she's trying to relate to us, but that wine is worth $15,000 a bottle.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, to me, understanding, being like, I know I spent $2 million, but I don't think I could be like, I don't think I could do it.
I don't think I could kiss a
man.
Kiss a boy? Has he not played fruity characters? I thought
I'm pretty sure that man has kissed a man.
So too. What?
So like to me, I can't understand just being like, oh, $2 million, that's nothing. So I'm good.
So this pocket change.
Yeah,
Joker 2 is about to come out. Okay, I'm good.
I know. I can make that on Cameo. Turn that shit on. I'm good in 10 minutes. Dude, so I don't get it. And I never will get it.
No,
so
me neither.
when people are just like, don't you just feel so... And I do feel bad because I mean, I'm an empath.
Shut up.
No, I mean...
Not the empath.
No, I do feel bad. Like...
I fucking hate that Shane Dawson ruined that shit.
I know.
I can't even say I'm an empath without...
No, it's so funny because sometimes I'll say that to my students. I was like, you need to be empathetic. And they're like, okay, Shane Dawson. Like,
oh, wow. Still relevant with the children?
With my kids from like 6 years ago, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Got it.
I can't feel that bad because at the end of the day, even if they're crying themselves to sleep, they have fucking hundreds. And not even like used hundreds, like crisp, clean, blotting their fucking tears. Like, it's okay, bitch.
It is crazy.
It's not going to change their lives.
It's not. Damn.
Yeah.
Well, I am interested to see what else comes out, if anything else comes out in terms of, you know, the behind the scenes of this film. I hope we learn more, just, you know, because I'm a little chismosa.
I know. I hope so too. I'm here for the chisme.
Overall, movie was okay.
It was okay.
Could have been better.
I wish that there were more, probably like better books that get movies. Well, Emily Henry's books.
Yeah. I can't fucking wait.
I know.
Well, let us know what you thought about this book / movie.
What'd you think about Atlas?
What'd you think about Atlas? What'd you think about the characters, the people who played them?
What'd you think about Ryan Reynolds being like, not like that? Not like that.
People were saying that they wanted to create their own Barbenheimer because of the Deadpool Wolverine. It ends with us, but I feel like that's so insensitive because it ends with us is about domestic violence.
Yeah.
Well, let us know your thoughts down below.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.